All right, so shout out first off to Darian, the bow tie fragrance guy. He left an open tag. He was tagged in a video of fragrances so good you'd use the whole bottle. And he didn't tag me in specific, but he left it as an open-ended tag because he didn't want to tag the same old people over and over and over. And sometimes, like he says, you get people who you tag that don't want to do the tag videos, and I understand. Sometimes maybe these people just don't rock with you or your channel. Maybe they just are busy, or maybe they just aren't in the tag videos. But whatever the case may be, if I see that I've been tagged and I knowingly know about it, I'm definitely going to do it. If you tag me in a video and I didn't see it or I haven't done it, just remind me. That's all you have to do. I'm getting old. You don't see all this great. But anyway, on the other side of the intro, we'll get to it. Glad you all chose to come back. With that being said, for those of you who are brand new to this channel, I am Keith. This is The Fragrant Life. Usually I don't do videos like this. I usually have my fragrances behind me, but if you're new to this channel, then definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring the bell icon for all notifications. Like the videos, thumbs up, share these videos, and be active in the comment section. And for those of you who haven't subscribed to this channel, because I can see in the analytics the ratio, and it's almost half and half. But for those of you who are just sitting back watching videos and just don't subscribe, this doesn't cost you a thing. All you do is hit that red subscribe button, ring that bell icon, and it costs you nothing. I don't know why the 50 some odd % of people on here don't subscribe to the channel. It's not gonna hurt you. But anyway, let's get to it. So this was an open-ended tag video by Darian, the bow tie fragrance guy. And the video is fragrances so good, I'd use the whole bottle. Obviously, this video was a little bit harder for me to do because I don't wear the same fragrances more than once, depending on what it is. A lot of my newer fragrances that I've purchased, the niche stuff, in which you're not going to see any niche in this particular video, but a lot of my newer fragrances are partial bottles, and I can't use those bottles because I didn't use what was used in those bottles. So I had to go through, I had to take a fine-tooth comb and a microscope, go through my fragrances, see what the juice levels were like, and I picked out those bottles. So in no particular order, I just put these on here randomly. I'm just gonna pick one up and go. So the first one is gonna be from a house that is very reputable, and I love this particular fragrance. I personally don't care about what formulation it is, if it was made in 1703 or 2021. As long as it smells good and gives me decent performance, I'm cool with it. So the first one I'm gonna put on here is Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. This is the Eau de Toilette. Yes, this is a newer formulation. This isn't the one with the sticker. This is the one with the name etched into the glass. But to me, this still smells fantastic. I can't vouch for any older batches because I've never smelled a lot of the older batches. I just came into the game about 3, possibly 4 years ago, so that's all I can tell you. But this one has that note of iris, which gives it that lipsticky kind of vibe. Perfect for the office. Great smelling fragrance. I definitely wear this on a date. Sexy as I don't know what. And if you don't have it or haven't had this in your collection, then you definitely need to at least get your nose on it. Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Next up, I wasn't too keen on this fragrance when I first got it. It has grown on me. I don't even think I had the fragrance that this is possibly a clone of, but from the house of Cremo, this is Bergamot and Musk Eau de Toilette. And this is supposedly a clone of Creed Aventus, but I do get the vibe of Creed Aventus, but this is definitely not an exact clone. I wouldn't put this like 90, 95. I'd put this more like maybe 75 to maybe about 80, 85% close. But for what this is, and you can see the juice level on this one, it has grown on me. I have used it more than once, and I may use this tomorrow when I head back to work. Bergamot, very musky. It does have that Aventus type vibe. Very fresh. Smells great. I wish that when these Cremo fragrances first started hitting discounters, I had been more attentive to them and picked them up, because these were all over the place. And by now I probably would have had everything they had out, but I passed on a lot of these fragrances, and when the hype started hitting, that's when everybody started going goo goo gaga, and I missed out on a lot of them. So from the house of Cremo, Bergamot, and Musk, Eau de Toilette. Now, this particular fragrance was definitely hyped when I first came into the game about 3 years ago. Everybody was talking about this fragrance, and it's really a shame that fragrances like this don't get a lot of mention like they used to. Yes, I've heard about reformulation. Yes, the bottle is different than the actual first bottle that I picked up, but this is still a decent fragrance. If you like vetiver, I believe that is what's in this, then you definitely like this one. This is from the house of Mugler. This is Mugler Cologne. And to me, this is a fantastic smelling fragrance. It's crisp, clean, refreshing, citrusy. This will definitely wake you up if you spray this on early in the morning. Perfect for those super hot summer days when it's just unbearable outside. If you stick this in the refrigerator, not the freezer, the refrigerator, let this get cold. And if you're on lunch break or something, just go get it real quick. Or you can put this in like your lunch box if it keeps your food cold or whatever. It'll keep it cool. Hey, if you're working outside or you're in a building like I'm in where we're sheltered, but it's still no AC, spray this on your break or lunchtime, man. This is quenching, this is refreshing, and it does the trick for me every time I wear it. You can see I've put a little bit of dent in it, and like I said, this is my second bottle. The first bottle I bought was one of the big bottles, but it was only like a little bit left, and I went through that fast. But I then picked up this one from Fragrance X. So from the house of Mugler, this is Mugler Cologne. This next fragrance is one that I have hyped to the high heavens and back, and still to this day in 2021, I still hype it. I have not given it wearing in a while, but I am. This is from the house of Liz Claiborne. This is Bora Bora. And this fragrance, I don't know if you all can see it, but the juice level is like right here on this one. And this is not my original bottle. The original bottle I had a little bit less than this in it, but I sold it to somebody because they couldn't find it in their local area, and I was finding them in abundance here all the time. So I sent them mine, and then somebody saw the video where I said I sent off mine and I was looking for another one, and they sent it to me. So that's why the juice level is up here instead of way down here. But this is a fantastic, fruity, fresh smelling fragrance. And women absolutely adore this fragrance, especially on me when I wore it to any of my old jobs, especially the hospital, for about $9, $10, or $11 with tax. You get a fantastic smelling fragrance and almost guaranteed to get you compliments unless you're just unapproachable. So from the house of Liz Claiborne, Bora Bora. All right, from the house of Issey Miyake. Issey Miyake, some of their earlier fragrances, they don't get as much mention or as much hype as the newer ones. But I actually happen to like some of these. And this one is L'Eau Bleu d'Issey Eau Fresh. And I actually love this fragrance. You can see, being that it was fall and winter, and now we're in spring, I can start pulling this back out, but you can see the juice level on this. I love this scent. Now, I have to go a little heavy on the sprays. Oh, that smells so good. I have to go a little heavier on the sprays on this one because it doesn't perform that well on my skin. So I have to hit my shirt a few extra times, but citrusy, fresh, another one of those fresh, invigorating type fragrances that if you chill this and spray it on, definitely an invigorating type scent. I hate to keep using the same words over and over and over, but these fragrances like this are just perfect for spring and summer. They just scream fresh. They scream citrus. They scream just, it's just out of sight, man. So this one from the house of Issey Miyake, L'Eau Bleu d'Issey Eau Fresh. This one, I know a lot of people talk about a lot of the other fragrances from this particular line. I didn't care for a lot of those. When I first got this one, and this actually was the first one I've ever smelled when it came to the fragrances from this particular brand. I got this one from Ross, and when I first sprayed it, one of my classmates was next to me when I sprayed it, and she liked it. The girl I was dating that worked at Ross, I think she was the manager or something like that, she liked it, and there was some other lady, I didn't even know her, she was just walking by and she smelled it and she liked it also, and just that alone made me buy this. From the house of Lacoste, this is L1212 Blanche, or white, or pure white, whatever you want to call it. This one is probably the absolute smoothest citrus fragrance that I have on this particular list. Oh, that smells so good, man. This is classy. This is fresh, smooth, sweet, and an attention grabber. If you wear this in the right circumstance, I guarantee you this will get you compliments. But I can't show you the level on this one because it's kind of hard to see, but the level is not that low. It's probably like right here. I have used quite a bit of this, but I have other fragrances that are similar to this one that I probably used a little bit in between using this one, but still another one I feel I'll go through way before I go through anything else. Lacoste L1212 Blanche. All right, back to the house of Issey Miyake. This is probably, to me, and I haven't smelled any of the other ones, if they have, I think like a noir and some other fragrances that they have flanker wise, but this one is one of the smoothest fragrances from the house of Issey Miyake. This one is L'Eau d'Issey Pour Homme Eau de Toilette Fresh. And there is a difference because this one is the blue fresh and this one is just fresh. And I absolutely love this fragrance. You can see the juice level on this one also. It's coming down. This thing smells so good. It's classy, elegant smelling. It smells fantastic. It is definitely a fresh fragrance. I would personally wear this one on a date. It smells that classy to me. So if you haven't gotten your nose on this one, definitely do that. Low DSC Pour Homme Fresh. All right, we're getting into the home stretch. We're down to the last 3. So the next one, I have never heard of this house until I found this particular fragrance. And I think I was at a TJ Maxx in Pooler, I think, Georgia, which is in Savannah. And I was just going through, I wasn't finding much. I ran across this particular fragrance and I was intrigued by it. So I looked the notes up on it in the store like I usually do, and it seemed like it was gonna be pretty decent. I got it, I sprayed it, and I love it. And if you can see the juice level on that, it is coming down. From the house of Toise, this is Toise. And if I pronounced it wrong, I apologize. I'm not perfect. But this one, this is so refined. This is so, this is a sexy scent. I'm gonna just put it like that. To me, this smells so sexy. It's kind of hard for me to describe because I don't remember the note breakdown on this one, but I can just tell you this is very classy. This is nothing that is harsh anywhere in this fragrance. This is so smooth. It smells well blended, and I love the bottle design on this. There are other flankers or fragrances in this collection, but this one is the only one I've got my nose on. I do believe I have a decant of something else from this house, but I love this scent. So from the house of Toise, this is Toise Man, to be precise. All right, so for those of you who love green Irish tweed, some people will like this fragrance and others won't. For one, they won't like it because it's from the house of Armaf, and a lot of people despise Armaf, and for one reason is because Armaf actually makes damn good colognes. And I can't deny that some of the fragrances that I've purchased early on in my journey have been fantastic from the house, and this one is definitely one that got me a lot of compliments that I love to death. This is Tres Nuit Pour Homme, and you can see the juice level is coming on down. I haven't worn this in quite some time, and that's really because, and I don't know why I'm holding on to it, because you can find this for like 20, 25 bucks on the website. This is just green Irish tweed done sexy to me, because this is a little bit sweeter than green Irish tweed, in which I love sweet scents. Those of you who have been long-time subscribers of this channel, you know this about me. I love sweet fragrances. This one is done to me just right. I love it. I also love green Irish tweed, but I just love the scent profile of this. I've worn green Irish tweed and not gotten a compliment the first. I wore this one day I was off when I was still at the hospital. I wore this to first the state patrol office because I think I was getting my license reinstated or renewed or something like that. Yeah, renewed. So as I was sitting, waiting, there was 2 young ladies sitting side by side at a booth behind the counter. My name got called, and as I was, going through the motions of getting my license renewed, they were asking me all these questions about my cologne and all this stuff, and the supervisor had her door closed, and she came out of her office. Now, I've told this story several times before, so if you don't believe the story, go back and look at the video. She came out of her office and she said, is that you coming in here making my office building smell? And I was like, yes, ma'am, that was me. And she said, oh, okay, I like that. And she went right back in the office. So I left there. I went straight to the hospital because I'm like, if I'm getting these kind of compliments from the state patrol office, I can definitely see women going crazy over this. So I went to the hospital. I went up on the 5th floor. I think it was like the St. Simon side. And I went through the nurse station and I just walked through just to see what was going to happen. And one lady stopped me to talk to me, and they started smelling my cologne, and all the females started going crazy. Like, oh my God, you smell so good. What is that you got on? And I just went on a warpath, walking through the hospital, and compliments were just coming. So Trace Nuit did that from Armand. All right, last but not least, I definitely could not do this list without putting this fragrance on here. And I wish I could see how much juice is left in this bottle, but it's kind of hard to see. I think, if I'm seeing this correctly, the level is about here on this. And this is my go-to fragrance. You should already know what this is, from the House of Armand, Club de Nuit Intense Man. This is a love it or hate it type fragrance, and I'm one who loves it. This fragrance gives me compliments every time I put it on. This lasts on my clothes longer than any fragrance I own as of that I know of. I haven't tried a lot of the niche ones on my clothes yet, but this will stay on your clothes forever. My girlfriend said she washed some of my clothes one day and I had this scent on it. And she said, I could not get that scent out of your shirt. So this one is another one of those clones of Creed Aventus. Some say it's close, some say it's not. I say it has similarities, but for whatever the reason, I still love this fragrance. Anytime I put this on, I get compliments. People do smell it. It is that strong. I can't vouch for anybody else's batch, but this one in particular performs like a champ on my skin. I even had somebody send me their bottle for free because they said it didn't perform, but I didn't keep it. I actually sold that bottle to somebody else and I kept my bottle. And that is one reason why I am holding on to this as long as possible, because I don't want to lose that magic, that element that I get when I wear this fragrance. So from the House of Armand, Club de Nuit Intense Man. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know there weren't a lot of your favorite fragrances in this list. There weren't any niche fragrances in this list, so maybe in the near future I'll do a niche or a higher end designer list like this. But for the most part, these are all the ones that I know I've worn personally without buying a partial bottle of. These juice levels are coming down, and like I said before, I'm one of the ones who don't wear the same fragrances over and over and over. And I know there are people out there who mention this in their videos, like my boy Trey Sense. He says it in his videos that he don't show you anything that he's not recommending or he's not wearing. And I recommend almost everything that I own, but I have so many fragrances, I'm not gonna just get stuck on one specific fragrance, you know what I'm saying? And I have so many others that I want to explore and use and give you information on also. It just is what it is. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. And before I go, I think I need to tag some people. I want to tag JP Frags, Trey Sense, Sam Broom. I know you've been busy, my friend, but if you see this video and you got a little bit of time, 10 fragrances that are so good that you'll use the whole bottle. Who else I want to tag? Barry from Sensualize, I'll tag you. Naps and Nurture, if you see this video, I want to tag you. Who else can I tag? I'm gonna leave it at that for now. My mind is blank. So with that being said, like I said, here is to smelling great. Peace, y'all.